Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the basement. How you doing? Episode 25, let's say. Sorry, it's been a while. It's been like about 2 weeks, but back here now. A lot of things happening. We've got the election coming up, a couple days away. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to preface this. I've been getting some emails, some comments, some questions. How did the basement start? Well, I just want to give you the backstory. I was talking to my buddy Mike earlier, and I'm sure he doesn't mind me using his name. The basement actually started back in Boston, Massachusetts. And I had just come back from overseas. I was living in Japan for a while. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff out there. And the state of Massachusetts, and I mean that both literally and figuratively, was just not what I remembered growing up. Boston had become this liberal cesspool. And you know, when I say like liberal, it's not I don't know what to say. It's just the mindset is terrible. And the focus is off. So I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, if you don't know, and I was, this gritty little Irish kid. And I come back, and I don't even recognize my hometown. I had more in common with the Japanese than I did with there was no Irish left in me. I think they're all gone, to be honest with you. But, so that's how the basement started. So I began some questions. I was just talking to my friend Mike. And the first thing I did was I started a show, a cable access show, and you could. The difference is you could call into that one. I've done it here with May. Shout out to May a couple times, but this was like a live feed, and I just remember I said something about the mayor, and his brother was accused of rape. This is like over 10 years ago, and I mentioned it, and I said we should look into it. This should be investigated. I was sticking up for women, and on this liberal cable access show, I'm sticking up for women. Next thing I know, they canceled the show. I'm gone. I was getting walked out by this big Brazilian, in a good way. He was protecting me because people were just so brainwashed, just so great. I mean, come on. The guy's guilty as sin. Anyway, I don't expect you weren't there. But that's how the basement started. And that's where I get the term, because I'm underneath the earth, because I gotta protect my identity, even though I don't. But so anyway, the point I'm trying to make is always do the right thing, even when it's scary. That's my PSA for the kids out there. But anyway, back to the basement. We got the election coming up. It's really being jammed down our throats this time, and for good cause. Because this is the fate of Earth. This is, and you hear that every election, you hear that all the time. But this is literally a battle of good versus evil. And this woman is no good. And you say what you want to say about Trump. Oh, he has a bad attitude, he's crude, he's crass. I don't even see it. Look amongst your circle of friends. Your circle of friends. You definitely have someone way more crude, way more crass than Donald Trump. He's not. I don't even see it. To me, it's nothing. I've had employers, liberal female employers, that were way worse, way more crude, way more filthy. He's not even that bad. I mean, the guy took a bullet to the head for this country. I mean, come on. What have you done for this country? Ask yourself, what have you done? Do you even pay your taxes? I mean, come on. Do you tip 20%? What do you do for your country? You say no tax on tip. So this election is really going to be crazy. And it's November 5th. It's not going to end, folks. My prediction, no matter what the outcome is, she wins, he loses, he wins, she loses, it's not ending on November 5th. This thing is going to get dirty. It's going to get ugly. I hope you stocked up some water, stocked up some canned goods. It's gonna get weird. And I've been around long enough to know you can feel it in the atmosphere. When I was living in New York City, it was George Bush, Obama, all those years. And the tension on the subway was just awful. And people were fighting each other. I mean, it's worse now, don't get me wrong. It was never good, to be honest with you. Never go to New York City, by the way. There's no reason to anyway. But it was just after that election, I think it was the second Bush election and the Obama election and all that, it was just nasty. People were just being nasty to one another. That's why I'm in a basement. But yeah, please, definitely get out, vote, do your best, but don't expect miracles. They tried to kill this guy 3 times. Imagine that. 3 attempts on his life. There's got to be some divine intervention going on here. See, I speak loud and fast and clear and good, but at least I say what I got to say. Why is nobody talking about the assassination? The guy was shot in the head. Literally shot in the head. And the next day, CNN and MSBSC is like, oh, yeah, this guy's volatile to the society. I really can't stand these people. Now you got my Irish up. Now you got my temper up. And it's like, the guy, what does he do? What does he do that is so... He wants to make the country great again. I mean, it's not like, oh, I want to touch kids. Like Joe Biden sniffing kids. Why has nobody punched Joe Biden in the face for sniffing their kid? I don't know what it... If you come up to me, why is it this guy takes liberties? I just want to... It's all right. The guy takes liberties to sniff your kid. But if you're walking your dog down the street, 99% of people ask, may I pet your dog? Before touching the dog. And I say, yeah, go right ahead. Little kid, pet the dog. Sometimes they give it a cookie or something. This guy, he doesn't ask, hey, can I sniff your kid? He just does it. And then they call us weird. It makes no sense. It just pisses me off. A friend of mine, friend of the show, May, sent me this video clip today. And it was from the past. It was Kamala Harris was the prosecutor against Michael Jackson. Now, this must have been late 90s, early 2000s, I'm guessing. And who was the one to come to Jackson's defense? Trump. And he said, the guy's eccentric or something like that, but he's not a molester. Jackson used to stay at Trump Tower all the time anyway. It's just so in your face obvious who the evil people are. And as a society, you're not willing to do anything. I see these morons, these brainwashed zombie. I'm voting her. She's a woman. Yeah, good logic. Do you want the best person or the woman? That's your logic. It just makes me so upset and crazy. But yeah, shout out to Mike, shout out to May, shout out to all the fans of the show. I'll make this a short one, but I do want to say something to our listeners. Just prepare yourself for the worst, because it's coming. And anyway, hit me up, Deacon Cassidy, 00013@gmail.com. This is a short one. I'll have more this week, but stay tuned. Thank you very much. Peace.